Instacredibility.com Trust Trigger Series. Trust Trigger number 2. Highlight your company's ability to provide. Most of your prospective customers are not going to admit their inability to do what you're good at. After all, most people don't want to feel and look vulnerable. So if somebody is looking for plumbing services, deep down inside, they know that they are completely unqualified to do their own plumbing. They'd rather look for a specialist. Not only does this apply to plumbing, it applies to dentistry, legal matters, medical issues, roofing problems, septic tank disasters, you name it. Most of your prospective customers are humble enough to understand the limitations of their personal sphere of competence. The problem is that most people are also reluctant to jump at the first option if they don't fully know who that option is. Do you sense the tension? They desperately want to solve the problem, but at the same time, they don't want to blow it by trusting the very first business that makes them an offer. This is why people who have been around the block for a while, or who talk to friends and family to guide them through the process of picking a service provider, would insist on qualifications, credentials, experience, and professional background. All of these lead to the same place: your ability to provide a minimum standard of quality. In other words, are you able to do the job? Of course, when you get a new customer who hasn't dealt with you before, they're taking shots in the dark. They don't know who you are, they don't know what you can do, they don't know where you've been, and they sure do not know where you're headed. They rely on what most people require to come up with a rough guess of your ability to provide results. So they look at your qualifications. This means training, education, and supplemental skills building. This in turn triggers another requirement. Anybody can say they had the proper training. Savvy customers would want credentials. Depending on the type of service or merchandise you offer to the public, this might require state certification. For instance, if you are offering divorce property dissolution services to your community, at the very least, your prospective customers would require a college diploma, a law school diploma, and a bar passage certificate. If you practice a specialized form of law, like divorce law, you must show a special certification from your bar association. All of these are just rituals that people follow so they can come up with some sort of way to trust the qualifications you claim. Without concrete proof of your qualifications, they may trust your word that you are capable, but it's anybody's guess if you are telling the truth. The same goes with your claims about your background. Still, to establish solid provision so you can trigger trust, all 4 need to be active: qualifications, credentials, experience, and background. The central question. By answering these questions regarding your qualifications, credentials, experience, and background, it boils down to a simple question that your prospective customer is asking: is this company or this person qualified to help me? In the first step of triggering trust with customers, the focus is on them. At this stage, the focus is on you. Your client is looking over what you bring to the table, and these can be roughly broken down into 4 baskets: qualifications, credentials, experience, and background. These have to be communicated in a way that enhances likability. You can't come off as a jerk. You can't say, "Well, I spent all these years in medical school, so I know what I'm talking about. Just the fact that I went to medical school and I have an MD after my name means that you have to trust me." Sorry, that's not going to cut it. There are other medical doctors that don't have that attitude. Understand the dividing line between laying out your qualifications, credentials, experience, and background, and still connecting with your prospective client or customer at a deep human level so that they would trust you. It's important to always circle back to your key objective here. When you present information about your ability to provide or your creation of a provisioning system, the attention may be on you, but you should not waste this opportunity by bragging or coming off as arrogant. This is especially crucial in your local expertise book. Your physical book should lay out a good case for your ability to provide, but it should be in the broader context of painting a story that makes you likable. Contact Instacredibility.com today to help you get started in turning your local business expertise into a solid brand your prospects would trust and buy from again and again.